So I'm originally born and raised in Greece. I've spent there like all my life, pretty much until high school. I'm from south part of Greece, Peloponnese, which is like coastal area, and like from a small village called Skapetie. That's where the name is actually from. It's an agriculture. It is still an agricultural village. It's a small village. Like my family was pretty much like cultivating flowers and all sorts of like different like tulips and carnations and lilies and all sorts of like seasonal type of flowers. The only constant production that we had like throughout the year was actually the olive oil, and like through the olive oil that we had, you know, as a family during that period, in the specific period that we actually do the harvest, which is October to December in Greece. And the whole family had to be involved. So like I had like, very fond memories of us creating the food from the night before, and like God felt like having the food there during lunchtime, and then like eventually when the light was done, like then we leave and go back home. I remember like I used to leave school and go there straight away, and like throughout the weekends I'll spend most of my time like through. It was very nice. It sounds like it wasn't like very hard work, but it was fun for everybody, and they really enjoyed it. One of the things that very fond memories that I had from that period of time is actually when we were actually going and pressing the olive oil, like right straight after like we actually harvested it. We used to do that every night or every other night. And back then we used to use like warm water to separate the olive oil. Now you must probably all aware of like the cold pressed olive oil that they say. So the olive oil was coming a little bit like warm out of like when it was getting pressed, like with warm bread, like that feeling, that smell, and that is like still like stuck in my mind. And to this day I still enjoy that like very much as a food. I mean, since then, like once I left from that area at high school, I spent like a year in Athens doing my A-levels, and eventually kind of like joining university here in the UK. Like I always carried that olive oil with me. So whenever I was, you know, I used to go back to Greece. I used to carry it back with me. Like there wasn't a period in my life that I didn't have it. Kind of like I didn't use any other. I didn't know any other olive oil. It wasn't until like 2 years ago, like summer of 2019, that I've run out of my own olive oil, and I've kind of like ventured out in supermarkets and local shops to try and find something to use. And that's where I realized that, you know, like I tried like few things, and I didn't quite get like what the satisfaction that I used to get. But I didn't know that there wasn't like that's the only thing I have tried. So I thought back then that was the initial idea of like I needed to let people know about my olive oil. I need to let family and friends in the UK that, you know, there is much better product out there than what like it's up in the market right now. And that's pretty much how it started. So that season, that year, like I brought like few 5-liter tins with me, and I shared with like family and friends. And you know, the response was pretty much amazing. Kind of like, you know, I've had so many people. Hopefully one of you will say that tonight. You know, this is the best olive oil I've ever had in my life. So
this is the best olive oil I've ever had.
Yes. I didn't pay anything. You know, so that was my feeling in terms of kind of like fed me with a lot of enthusiasm and wanting to share that with more people as possible. So that was. You know, that was the 5-liter. Eventually, you know, that was the period when COVID came along, pretty much. Like it was December 2019 to January, February, and a couple of things happened then. Like firstly, kind of like the idea kind of like was sparked by that event. Like I've brought like, and people said like too many good things about the olive oil. At the same time, when COVID, on the first lockdown, I've lost my job, and I had plenty of time in my hands. So after like 3-4 weeks, I kind of like actively looking for a job, I realized that there wasn't anything out there, so I kind of like concentrated a little bit more on the olive oil. So what we've done, and my wife here like helped me massively, is we need to put like a product together in terms of like a little bit more marketable, because with friends and family we brought like a tin with like no labels or branding or anything. So we had to pretty much like from scratch, and during lockdown as well, come up with like a bottle and the cup and the sleeve that goes in the cup and like the boxes and everything pretty much. And Vicky helped me quite a lot with, you know, the branding of it, like finding the right people to work with and come up with a label, which is what it is right now, and it's been kind of transposed to the olives as well, which was a little bit like simple but elegant at the same time. So we I didn't really pay attention to the branding. I thought the raw material was like perfect, but like without branding, I think everybody knows that your product will not go anywhere in business. At the same time, I built my own website like during that time, which is like still alive and kicking. And it's a Shopify based. It's not like nothing specific, but like still a lot of work that need to go in to kind of like bring it up to life and make it look like the way we want it compared to the branding that we created. The first sale, well, actually we bottled those bottles. We decanted the 5 liter, the first like few batches. We decanted the 5 liter into bottles in our own kitchen. And because it was COVID, we couldn't move a lot as well. There wasn't any kind of like, so, but we wanted to try the product out. So once we put that 500 ml bottle together, we kind of like ventured out to dailies and farm shop. And the first sale didn't come, came quite relatively quickly. So by May we had like our first sale. So this is when we actually thought that, we've got a great product inside. We've got a relatively good branding, which is like it's appetizing for somebody to pick it up from itself, and it's actually done the first sale. So like we should move on, and that's what we actually eventually did. Today we actually, after like past like 6-8 months, we've introduced olives as well. Olives are not from our land, but like I've traveled the whole of Greece to find something equivalent in terms of quality and taste. Today. We have approximately like 70 delis and farm shops that we actually sell to, and that number is kind of like keep on growing on a kind of like bi-weekly, monthly basis. There is a lot of there's a lot of good perception of the olive oil. The people that tend to buy it tend to shout that this is the best olive oil in the world. So which is, I get that a lot from the website as well. I see like a lot of repeated customers kind of like keep on coming back and buying olive oil. So in a way, it's kind of like it's good to see that like people appreciate it. I think the next stage for us is to currently, looking to expand a little bit with like, looking actively to get some funding and expand the product base, as well as build the different sales channels, because they're like massive in terms of market, is quite big. And we were able to kind of like brand, like with that brand kind of like expand different sales. But at the same time, we want to build the infrastructure a little bit back in Greece as well, so we can control the production from like beginning to end. Now, I guess, no, it's not going to be too long on this, finishing up. But in terms of, why I think it's really important to kind of identify why the fast, because, you can get a bottle of olive oil for like £2 in the supermarket, right? Like $2.50 for the same size. And, I think it's, we've all heard about like the health benefits of olive oil. It's like, it's like, for one single product, the health benefits like sound like amazing in terms of like, reduces inflammation, kind of like lowers the risk of heart disease, may prevent strokes, reduce like type 2 diabetes, like all sorts of like different benefits. The main reason, there are two main ingredients that actually cause all these like health benefits from olive oil. And one is the fact that it has like monosaturated fat, and the other one is that it's got a lot of antioxidants. And like a good olive oil, a good olive oil has like a 75% of its content is like monosaturated fats. So that actually, against like, general belief in this country that, you can't cook with the olive oil. The monosaturated fat actually makes it like quite the ideal cooking oil for like, for high temperatures. Unfortunately, though, what happens in the market is the fact that the industry is, and any industry is kind of like driven by profit margins. So like what you tend to get is a blend. So you don't get like an authentic product. You get like a portion of like a very good olive oil in a bottle, which is mixed with possibly lower quality olive oils. In some instances, like different oils as well. But like, the fact that people tend to buy extra virgin olive oil, but because of the quality of it, might not necessarily get the full health benefits that this product is kind of like able to provide. So yeah, I think, you know, apart from, I guess, like all that, I think it's worth definitely tasting it yourselves. And that's why it's here today. It's also up for sale, discounted prices today. But you know, please help yourselves. Like whenever you find time, or the olives and the olive oil with like some bread, it's I think amazing. Please let me know.